Hello there. My name's David Vasquez. I'm a senior here at Texas State, hopefully graduating in the fall of 24. Wish me luck. Originally from Clute, Texas, and my birthday is December 24th. So the question is from the reports that we read, what do you think was the most interesting trends covered in 23, and how do I think they'll affect me in the future? So basically, reading through the articles provided by the teacher, of course, from the Readers Institute in Oxford, I found out, to me, the interesting part while reading this was not only do okay, let me take a step back. The main interesting thing I find is that a lot of people don't like reporters as much, and a lot more of them, for instance, younger generation, pay more attention to influences. And I have notes here, by the way. The younger generation pays more attention to influencers and celebrities more than journalists, mainly on like the big platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, which is interesting because you would think as journalists and stuff like that, that they would pay more attention to somebody that they think is more reputable in like their field, yet they pay more attention to the influencers and celebrities who might not be as well in the field as others. So I think that's interesting, and as well as interesting that they talked about how, which we see now, a lot of people are moving more towards video consumption, video and audio consumption in comparison to reading. There is still on the trend and stuff, it still showed that people enjoyed reading, but people like the fact that they can multitask at the same time of like either listening to audio or like watching a video while they're doing something else. So I think that's also interesting, like it's like, wow, okay. So I know a lot of stuff now is more pushed forward to short form video content, which is how most things are surviving now, especially like news and broadcasts. Like short form videos is the way it's going to go. And it's interesting to see that there is still some people that like reading, but I think there's still going to be a majority that want to just watch or just want to listen to you or a voice. And again, going back to, there we go. Oh yeah, and then some people, and it says on here that they're more likely to go to social media first instead of actually going to the direct website, which is interesting because most of the time people plaster their, or not plaster, but they talk about things like, hey, you should not only watch my video, but go to the source where I found this video. And everybody on, like over social media and stuff like that are constantly talking about it. They're like, hey, you should go look at your own research. You should read it for yourself and everything. But it showed in the 2023 trend, I think in the 2024 trend as well, as a lot more people get their information from social media, which is good, but scary at the same time. Because it's good because social media, in a way, you can like quickly get your information fast, which is great. But that's also where, for instance, they talk about in 23 where some misinformation might start happening, and 24 brings it up as well. And not a lot of people, even though they preach go to the source, a lot of people don't go to the source anymore. A lot of people would just rather just get on social media and just look at it real quick and say, oh, I know the facts, I know everything, good to go. Instead of actually going to like the news like websites or apps that they have and actually read the cases. And I think that's interesting too, because I even see that in my own kind of preference sometimes. So sometimes I'll watch like certain creators, for instance, I watch Brett Cooper of Comment Section. She's up with Daily Wire, and I watch her to get some of my news and stuff like that. But sometimes I don't find myself going to go read because she links it in her videos to go read the articles and stuff. And sometimes I don't even do that. So it's interesting to see that even as a college student, you still find your way to do certain things like that. Um, so the future trends in digital media and describe how these trends might affect you. The future trends basically again, future trends they're going towards video. They want video, audio, and that's basically where it's going. So it's just one of those things where us, either journalists, reporters, digital media specialists, we need to be good at videos, be good at making fast videos, and be good at like catching people's attention because people's attention span is so small, it's hard to keep people. And also seeing the trends for like people like personalities and influencers more than actual journalism shows that you need to put more, I guess, creative effort and less of like more creativity in your personality rather than just being like, hey, I'm a journalist, this is what goes, because it shows that people don't really like that. People want people to entertain them while giving them the news at the same time. So I think for like my future and these trends, it's just good to know that like, hey, I might be doing this, creating content and stuff like that, but I have to get either in front of the camera or have somebody who has a really good personality to bring people in to watch content or to, want to watch videos or be up to date with stuff. and that not only that, but I also need to be very mindful that a lot of these people will look away after like so many, so many minutes. So I think it's going to be interesting to see the future because, you know, it's going to be a war zone. It's going to be interesting to see how short and how fast we can catch people's attention.